Hi, all. Welcome to the session. In this session, I'm going to show you how to generate AWR report, ADDM, and ASH reports. These are very, very important, guys, as part of Oracle DBA regular job. We need to maintain our Oracle database performance tuning, like how we are going to do the performance tuning in our database, how we need to maintain our database properly. Okay, maintenance mainly. If database is hang, we used to get a queries, we used to get a request, we used to get the tickets and all. Database is slow, database is not, we are unable to submit the request, we are unable to connect the database, my select query is taking time. So many queries. So if you want to identify such kind of issues, we need to use certain kind of performance tools. Those are AWR report and ADDM and ASH reports. By using these tools, we can tune our database. Okay, if you are reading the AWR report, it's like huge data it will gather. Okay, we'll go through it one by one in this session. Okay, so why we need to generate these reports? Tuning is the database is very much essential, like as part of our DBA role, it's very much essential, like it is need. We need to tune our database for better execution plans and better SQL statement parsing and all, and the database performance. If somebody is trying to submit some job, that should be completed within a time. So for that, we are using first AWR. AWR abbreviation is that Automatic Workload Repository. It will load each and everything. It will gather the information on the database side. It will run on 24/7 manner, and it will gather the reports. What are all the transactions going on? Whatever the transaction is going on the database, it will record it. Okay. By you reading this report, we can understand what kind of issues are, what kind of performance load or what kind of things is going on our database. We can monitor. Okay, we can deciding the clear picture what exactly happening in our database. So AWR is a like a tool, we can use it. It's a free of cost as part of our database. It will like free of tool. Some of the organizations, they are using OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager is a tool. It's a licensed one. If somebody unable to bear the license of OEM tool to monitor and troubleshoot or tune your databases, we can use AWR report for a better approach. Okay, without, but OEM we are having very much flexible. Okay, so many features are there, but it's out of scope in our session now. We will discuss later on in our upcoming sessions for OEM clearly. So now we'll go with what are all the information this AWR report, Automatic Workload Repository, will gather. This AWR report will generate on every 1 hour. If you want to change that, we can see it in next slides or upcoming next in few seconds. I'll explain that as well. In AWR report, we used to see object status. Object is nothing but package, view, synonym, sequence, everything. Okay, those we call it as an object. All the object statistics it will be gathered in this report, and also time model statistics views, whatever the time based or each and every second, whatever the transactions are hitting our database, those statistics also it will monitor it. And also session and system level statistics. Each user session and other application sessions are system level statistics. By using these views, we can able to identify those sessions. These information also in our AWR report, it will gather. And also it will take the ADDM and ASH automatic history and automatic diagnostic database monitoring related information also in AWR report, we can see it. Also SQL statements, what SQL IDs, what SQLs we have run on the database at certain time of time. So by default, the snapshots are generated in every 1 hour and retaining the snapshots in the repository for 8 days. Default values, guys. As I said, AWR reports will be generated on every 1 hour on our database. If you want to take those AWR reports, we can see it. I'll show you in couple of seconds how we are going to generate what is the snapshot and all. I'll show you that as well. Once this whatever the snapshots are there, so by default it is stored in 8 days in our database. If you want to modify these snapshots every 1 hour, by default it is taking, right? If you want to modify it to 30 minutes or 35 minutes, that we can make it every 35 minutes. We can will ask or will set the database level AWR report generation. Okay, by using this query we can able to generate it. For this, we need an input of retention. This is for every 7 days. Retention means, as I said, it will by default, it will store 8 days, right? If I could put the retention is in minutes at 10,080 minutes, it is a 7 days. Okay, every 7 days the repository will be flashed up older than 7 days snaps. And interval is by default it is 60 minutes, but I make it as 35 minutes. Okay, these values are 100% top, reaching all the top SQL counts and all. And this is the database ID where we are going to execute this, where we are going to set up these default values. Thus DB ID. How we are going to find? I'll show you that as well. This DB ID. Okay. So as I mentioned here, if you want to change the default values, the retention is 10,080 minutes, 7 days snapshot retention. So every 7 days, okay, last 7 days data we used to get it. If you need 8 days or 9 days data, we will not get it. If you put this retention in this, if you want to increase this, you can increase also, but it is a burden on your database, resource consumption and other things. So snapshot interval default is 60 minutes. If you want to change, you can change the interval parameter to 35 minutes. Okay, number of top SQLs to flash off, like to get those things, DBID, database identity number. All these are inputs which we want to provide, and then we can set up that as well. Okay, and one more thing is types of AWR reports in different environments. Why? Because if you are using standalone database, we need to run AWR report. We can use this command. AWR rpt.sqlr. This SQL we can use to generate. If you are using RAC, in RAC we can use this one as well, and also instance level AWR rpti instance level. If you are using multiple nodes, 2-node RAC instances, run it on each instance, and then you can compare the AWR reports and troubleshoot or tune your database parameters according to that. And also we can run this AWR report a specific SQL ID. For this, we need to get, if you have an SQL ID, and then you can run that report by using this SQL command, provide the input as an SQL ID. That is also possible. Also, if you want to compare the period report, like in the morning, somebody will say, today morning, 8 a.m., my database is working fine. The query is executed fine. But now, 12 p.m., after 4 hours, the same query is taking a lot of time. Earlier it completed in 10 minutes. Now it is taking more than 30 minutes. Still it is running. At that time, what we need to do as a DBA, we need to compare by using this SQL. We can compare those two reports, what exactly going wrong with that. Okay, before that also we can see some blocking sessions, logs, or database load, everything we can see it. Even though if you are not find it anything, you can compare the reports by using this SQL. We can compare that. Okay, and also what are the components to generate this AWR report? What are the components it will take it up? Okay, it will go to use all these things: ADDM, you undo advisor and SQL tuning advisor, segment advisors. All these components are help to generate this AWR report by default in our database. These are all the components, which are all the components inside of our AWR report. Okay, and then this I'll show you as part of the lab all three at once, like ADWR report and ADDM report. Let us go with ADDM. What exactly this ADDM means? ADDM abbreviation, you can say Automatic Database Diagnostic Monitor. This ADDM, it will help or it will analyze the AWR report. Why? Because in AWR report also we can see that ADDM report. AWR will gather ASH, ADDM, everything. But still, if you want to generate separately ADDM report, it will analyze the AWR reports, whatever generated in our retention, not the retention, as I said here. What is this name? Intervals. Whatever the intervals which we mentioned every 1 hour or 35 minutes, that will read that AWR report, and it will give the suggestions to us where we need to improve. If you want to improve the memory level, or if you want to improve any tuning level things, those ADDM will give the suggestions and recommendations. If you want to increase your SCI, if you want to increase your shared pool related parameters, all those informations it will provide. Okay, ADDM will provide the suggestions and recommendations for rectifying any problems identified in our database, or any issues happens. This will give that information only, but end of the day it will read the AWR data only. Okay, what are all the informations includes in our AWR report? It will suggest on database configuration level, hardware changes level, and schema changes, application or other advisories. Whatever the changes is there in all these parameters, it will suggest us. How we need to generate AWR report? By using addm rpt.sql command. All this SQLs will be resides in your Oracle Home or DBMS admin location. AWR report, ADM report, or ASH reports, all will be there in this location. Oracle Home or DBMS location. I'll show you that in a couple of seconds. Okay, what is ASH report? Why we need to run this? Again, we have AWR report, we have ADDM. Still, why we need ASH? ASH is abbreviation is active session history. If you want to identify the issue or if you want to troubleshoot the issue existing one on a current session level in memory related issue, that at that time this ASH report will help us for long period like 30 minutes or 50, more than 15 minutes older issues. We cannot able to identify proper issues with the ASH report. This ASH means active session history, present active session related information. We can able to troubleshoot it by using this. It will give the clear information. Okay, what this will gather is it will gather the sample data at the session level rather than the instance level. Complete instance level, it won't take it. If any one of the specific session level, it will gather that information. That session level, we can troubleshoot it. Okay, all the statistics are related. Only active sessions it will take. Inactive sessions and all it won't take. Okay, this will collect all the manageable set of the data. So that's where in session level information, active session level, that's where it mentioned active session history. ASH means the active session level information. If you want to troubleshoot current issue, last 5 minutes or 10 minutes related issue, we can generate the ASH report and then we will troubleshoot that issue. How we are going to generate this ASH report? In non-RAC environment, in standalone databases, we can use ASH rpt.sql query to generate our report. And in RAC environments, we can use, as I said, ASH RPTI instance level. And both the instances, if you have a number of instances, run the ASH report on all the instances. Okay. This is how we are going to generate ASH report. Okay, and then in AWR report, we have two options. If you want to generate your AWR report, we can generate it in HTML format and text format, plain text format. It is better to generate HTML format, the AWR report. Why? Because if you want to read that output, it's a huge output. If you are in a text format, we cannot able to identify properly. But if you generate the text form in HTML format through the browser, any one of that browser, we can able to view that output clearly. I'll show you that as well. Okay, let me show you how to generate. These are all the background of AWR report. To analyze and all, I'll take one more session to analyze the AWR report. What are the parameters we need to look into it? What is the wait events are there? Which wait event is, what kind of issue it will be generated? Why we need to get those wait events? All those things we can discuss in a separate video. I'll make sure I'll generate one more video for AWR report analyze. Okay, let's jump into our lab session. So I'm going to clear the session. First, we need to check our database is up and running or not. It is up and running. Then connect it to the database as sysdba. Okay, now I want to show you one more thing. cd $oracle_home rdbms admin. In this location, all the scripts will be there. So many SQLs will be there. If you want to take specific SQL, LSFNLD, AWR percentile, not the percentile, star, AWR star. Okay. See, if you want to specific lines, if you want to read it, you can read it. Here we have all the related AWR rpt.sql, rpti.sql. Okay. And SQL related also there, right? sqrpt.sql. So many ways we can able to generate our AWR report. Most commonly, we are using this one and this one. If you are using RAC, you can use AWR rpti.sql. If you are using standalone, you can use this one. From here, if you want to run this sysdba, you can directly, if you want to check, you can check PWD, that is fine. See here, we no need to select all these paths. Generally, people are selecting this at the rate. This path, complete path they are mentioning. Why? Because I am already there in this path. From there, I am trying to connect it to this database. And this, I'm trying to execute this SQL. So it is saying what it is saying, which format you want the output of the AWR report. By default, it is an HTML format. If you want to generate in a text format, enter the text format. But I am not going to give in text format. Okay, just enter it. Just enter it. See here, I just selected default one. I pressed enter default. If you are not giving any inputs, it will take HTML format only. Now my report is going to provide in HTML format. See, type specified in HTML. And it will read it current instance. Current instance is DB ID, database name. If it is a rack, it will show you that. And container level, it's cdb.root. It's my container. And it will show the DB ID. Here is our DB ID. How many instances we are having? One instance. It is going to read complete information and it is going to ask you how many days information. As I said, the retention is 8 days. If you want to store last 8 days information, we used to have. If you want to read it last 8 days, you can give the number 8. But in our case, I have restarted multiple times in a day. So I may not able to get 8 days information, but make sure we leave it as it is. Okay, if you are not giving anything input, it will take last 1 day or complete, not 1 day, complete whatever the data is available, that complete data it will take it up. Mine is 17th onwards, it is available 17th October. If you want to provide the one means last 1 day, only this one will give 19th one. That is fine. So these are all the snap IDs. I have 15 snap IDs I have in my database. So some snaps are taking at means if your database is continuously up and running, you can see it exactly every 1 hour. If like this 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. In between any down, it shutted downs and all, if database is not available, server is down, then we used to get some differences. Or if you are performing some any maintenance activities, other things, that will be difference here. Now I want to generate my AWR report on 18th October related snap ID. Start, begin snap and end snap we need to give from where to where. Don't go for 4 and 3 in vice versa like that. Go with 4 is my begin snap and end snap is 5. So only one this time 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. on my 18th October report I'm going to generate. End snap means 5. My end snap is 5. Then it will ask you to provide the report name, on which name you want to save this output. By default, if you are not providing anything, it will save in this way. AWR report instance number 1, 4 and 5 snapshots. If you want to generate AWR report underscore October 18th dot HTML, that's it. If I want to store this name, I can save it. So that's it, guys. This will store, this AWR report will be generated. So now it is completed. This is a HTML format. Report is completed. Report returned to this AWR report. Check whether it is there or not. Yes, it is there. Okay. Now I have generated this report, but I want to read this report, right? From here, if you want to do cat and other things, it will gives you so many issues, other ways. Host name. Okay. My host name is this. By using WinSCP, we can copy this output from the PuTTY session, like database server to local machine. Let me use my WinSCP. I think I already connected to this. I'll show you how to connect. Okay. We need to provide the host name and then we need to connect, provide the OS username to the server and the password. If you want to edit, edit, and provide the password. If you want to save it, save it. You can say here it is. That is fine. If you want to save the session, you can save it. Otherwise, leave it as it is. I'll save it. Save the password. Next time it won't prompt it again. Okay. Click. So I provided 192, my database host IP. If you want to see whether this is correct or not, cat etc host. This is my database IP. So connect it. Where is my this report is stored in this location? My report is there. So take that path. Click here 2 times, then paste the path, click on OK. Here we have huge number of files will be there, but what is our data mean? The AWR report name, AWR RPT, right? If you want to type AWR, it will come up. Otherwise, click on change date. Go on up, 19th October, April deleted. Go on top, here it is. If you want to change the date, it will come up this way. This is our report, 18th October. Drag to in this location, D drive. I have other AWR report also. In this way, we need to drag those things. I'll show you where it is in D drive, right? D drive, logs, reports and logs. Here it is. My AWR report is came to this one where October 18, this one. If I open, it will open in this way. See, AWR report, workload repository report. It will clearly mention everything in image oriented one. Snaps, everything. Okay. We can able to, is it rack or non-rack? It will show it here. Which version it is, 19C, 12C or 11G? It is a standard version or enterprise version. Okay. And CDB, or it's a multi-tenant or non-multi-tenant. We can able to read it from here. If it is S means it is a multi-tenant. What is our database name? Test. Okay, if it is a rack, it will say yes. Instead of no, it will say yes. So these are all the things, loading the profiles and all, DB time, redo, everything we need to go through it. So much of data. See if you can see, so much of data will be there. So much of data it will gather. If you how we are going to read it, it's very difficult, but we can make it easier with our one more video how we are going to read the AWR report in simple manner. So AWR things is there, right? ADDM, I'll check. See, ADDM related things, ADDM, see here. Whatever the ADDM report and active session AHS report, AHS report also will be there in our AWR report. Okay, let me show you. And what else? ADDM report I want to generate. Let me generate the ADDM. Okay, LS-1 ELD ADDM star dot SQL. See, this is my ADDM RPT.SQL, ADDM RPT. If you want to generate, I can generate it. Why? Because I was already there in this path. See this path. Oracle Home RDBMS admin. That's where I'm not giving this complete path. Or else I'll show you for that. If I want to go to home location, PWD, home, from here, if I connect it to my SQL plus SSDB, from here, I need to give my Oracle Home RACLD, or else I'll give complete path instead of Oracle Home and all. I'll give this complete path and then I'll give ADDM RPT.SQL. That's it. See, I'll give complete path and then the SQL. It should know, right? The database should know where the script which you are going to execute, the SQL which you are going to execute. That's where we need to mention. Or else you can go to this path and then you can generate it. Same thing. If you execute it, it will ask you whatever, it will show you all the listing the last 3 days of completed snapshots, and we can go through it. If you want to generate analysis for that ADDM report, give the same thing for 4 and 5. Give the same thing, and snap is 5. Start is begin snap is this, and snap is 5. If you want to name it, you can name it. Otherwise, leave it as it is. Or else ADDM RPT October 18.html or text format. Which format we are having, we'll see that it's by default in a text format. We don't have any other formats. Or else how it is. A number of days it will list it out. That's fine. In my session, ASH AWR, yeah, that is fine. Text format. If I can give HTML, what error it will throw? Or else it will give. See here, there is no significant database runs in this specific time zone. It should run the specific information. If you are not performing any transactions, it won't generate that report. Nothing. There was nothing, no significant database activities to run the ADDM in this specific one. Okay, that is one issue. If you want to run in a text format, even though the same thing will throws. Begin snap 4 and snap 5. Report is text format, default. See, same. There is nothing activity to perform on this one. That is one thing. and ASH report, right? Then we can run ASH report. LSF and LTR dollar Oracle underscore home DBMS admin ASHRPT.SQL. See, this is our ASH report, same location. If you want to go with SQL plus SysDBA, execute it at the rate, give the ASH report command, which format you want, by default in HTML or plain text you want. Enter HTML for HTML report, text for plain text. Default is HTML. I'm not going to give it anything. See, it is showing different time zone. If you are not entering the proper timings, is date minus 1 hour 15 minutes, is date minus 25. If you are giving minus 1 colon 15 minutes, is date minus 1 hour 15 minutes, minus 25 if you can give, sysdate minus 25 minutes, or mean older than 25 minutes report, it will generate it. Default, if you are not selecting any time frame, it will generate it for 15 minutes. Last 15 minutes information it will generate it. Begin time I am not going to provide. Last 15 minutes it will generate it. So duration, it will take it off. See, press enter, analyze all the current time. We are going to take it up current time, and then it is going to generate with this one HTML format with the time of 9:57 of the server time. Okay, leave it. Report name, it is going to generate it. ASH report is going to generate it. Yeah, it is done. ASH report has been generated. It is there in our this location, home Oracle location. I have ASH and I have ADDM reports. In this location I don't have those. Okay, let me go to home and Oracle location /home/Oracle. Okay, AWR report is there only. Oh, no problem. ADDM, yeah. This is my ASH report and this is my ADDM report on 18th October. See, if you can copy it here, and ADDM also you can copy it here. Let me go to my local machine. I can able to, let me refresh it. See here, I have my ASH report. So ASH report, what is this? It should show our current one, right? ASH, this one. Okay, it will show your database name. I have another ASH report. The database is RacksDB. This is a rack database. It will show you rack yes or no. If it's showing rack yes, and if it is non-rack, it will show no. It is not non-rack. It is non-rack one. It will give you ASH report, top events, loaded profiles, top SQLs, top Java sessions, top sessions, objects, all these informations. If you want to go through it, what exactly the information is going on, we are going to read it from where begin and end times of this one. By using $, active session history, we can able to get the two informations. We can read that. And AWR report, ADDM reports, let me show you that. ADDM report 18th. It's that, see here, even if you are generating in a HTML format, it is gives you in a text format. That's where by default ADDM report you are going with a text format. That is better approach, and you can read in text format. See here, this is my ADDM text format is output. Let me read that ADDM. And ASH and AWR required in a HTML format for better reading, but ADDM we can go with a text format. See here, analyzing period, AWR 4 and 5 snapshots, 18th October we are going to generate. Database is this and version is this. Analyzing, total database time is 00. So nothing to analyze. There is no findings to suggest you. If anything is there, then it will suggest us. It will give us the recommendations. So there is nothing. There was no significant database activities to run on ADDM on specific snapshot, 4 and 5 snapshots. Okay. That's all about our ADDM and AWR reports. However, and one more thing I want to show you, right? Comparison. I have generated that. I want to show you that. Yeah, here it is. As I said, the comparison of two AWR reports. It will show you the information is this workflow repository compare period report. See, so my first report on the test information. This is my second AWR report. These two, it is going to comparison and both the same instance only. Okay, this will a snapshot is 9:21 and then this is on 9:30 a.m. intervals. Elapsed time, DB time, everything it is going to compare. All the wait events it is going to compare everywhere in this way. So we can compare two AWR reports by running this parameter, and we can compare it also. Sometimes, right, when the query is running fine, that good run AWR report, and sometimes the query is not running properly, it is taking a lot of time, that bad run AWR report time. Both we can compare, generate the report with this, which one I have shown you. Here it is, AWR DDRPT report. By using this SQL, you can generate the time frame, good run and bad run. And the report will be in this way, it will be generated. And then we can comparison and we can troubleshoot it. Okay, that's all, guys, about this one. Thanks for watching.